What is the role of spirituality when it comes to business?
It's very important in the sense, first of all, let's understand what is spiritual process. Spiritual process does not mean looking up or looking down. It is not about believing something, it is not about going to a temple, church or mosque or whatever. Spirituality means this, when your experience of life transcends the limitations of your physical nature, then we say you're spiritual. When we say physical nature, what is physical about you was all gathered from outside, isn't it? The food that we've eaten, which is sitting here as a body. Either we get it now or when we're buried one day, we get it that we are actually part of the soil. So what is soil is now sitting here and acting up like this just because it can prance around, it starts believing things. But beyond what we have gathered, there is something else which you can call as life, you can call it whatever you want. But you exist beyond your body parts. So what body parts we gathered is just earth, which we have to put back one day. Something beyond that is within us. If we come to experience that dimension, then we say, you're spiritual. Or if you're seeking to experience that dimension, then we say you're on a spiritual path. Now, if you touch that dimension, naturally the sense of boundary will go away within you because boundaries are of the physical nature. Boundaries is a must for physical nature. This is me, that is you physically. These boundaries are very essential and this is needed. That goes for individuals, that goes for communities, that goes for nations. We call this a nation because it has a border, isn't it? So physical spaces are always defined by boundaries. A dimension beyond physical if you touch, there is no sense of boundary within you. It is naturally inclusive. If you bring people… Actually, when I was at WEF, I was asked, Sadhguru, if there's one thing we can do for you that will change this world, what is it? I said, I will name 25 people, give them to me for 5 days. I will change the world. In 2 to 3 years' time, there'll be a huge change in the world. Who are these 25 people? I named 25 heads of the major nations on the planet. Normally, I need 2.5 days to do this to people, but because they're politicians, I said 5 days.
You doubled the time.
Double the time, just to ensure. If… I want you to understand this, whether it's yourself or anybody who's leading a business or a nation, if you sit here and if you can experience all these people as you're experiencing the 5 fingers of your hand, after that, I don't have to tell you what you should do with them. Once you have experienced something as a part of yourself, then everything that you do will be an expression of that. So if you run businesses like this, if you run nations like this, it'll work. How is this possible? Very simple. We could do an experiment. If you do like this and hold it, you will see something starts happening between your two